Hey Shoujo fans, welcome to episode 52 of the Shoujo Sundae podcast. This week we will be reviewing My Happy Marriage, episode 4 through 6, with the amazing Volume 1 podcast. Let's dig in. I'd make you more than happy. Brain freeze, go chewy. Handle me.
Let's go!
Yes! Woo! Okay. Hi, Josh. Hi, Mehgan. We're so happy to have you on with us.
We're happy to be here.
We're happy to be here. I'm ready to eat.
Yes. Yes. We, for the listeners, I guess if you didn't know, because we did talk about it. We guested on Volume 1 podcast last year to discuss the shoujo manga Queen's Quality and had the very best time. You can go check out that collab on Volume 1's feed and also on their YouTube channel, which is like so cool. Like, me and Giana were just like, oh, we're legit now.
It's no big deal.
We're YouTube official with Volume 1.
That was such a fun episode too.
Oh yeah,
it was. I still think about that manga. Like,
Same.
I really want to make time and actually go back and read that because it was so intriguing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're just glad to finally have you both on Shoujo Sundae.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yes, but before we actually get into My Happy Marriage, we wanted to ask you guys a couple questions. So, could you explain to the listeners, again, we do not know why you wouldn't know Volume 1, but could you explain to the listeners who you are and what your podcast Volume 1 covers?
I'll go. So, if that's okay, Mehgan.
That's fine.
Yeah, we are Volume 1 podcast, and we kind of talk about everything anime and manga related. Where we started to where we ended up is kind of different, but now what we mainly do is cover, depending on the series, we'll do chapter reviews weekly. We have weekly lives, variety shows, anime reactions. We have our big series like One Piece that we stay up to date on, and JoJo, but we also like to talk about all kinds of other series. We've talked about random Ibitsu horror manga with Gavin, How to Train Your Gavin, which is not what his channel is called anymore, but formerly known, I guess. Basically, anything from like bigger series to more niche series. We just love anime, we love manga, and we try to talk about it in multiple formats whenever we can, however we can.
Yeah. Like, honestly, you guys are so inspiring. Like, as soon as I found out about you guys, I was just like, wow, like my mind is blown because like it feels more like a TV station.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, that's
like
a great
that.
way to put it.
Than just like a podcast. Like, you give people something all of the time and it just seems it's just so much fun, like, to see all of the people engage with you. And you have merch, which is so cool.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Thank
Oh my gosh, I'm like blushing over here.
Yeah, no problem. Like, I think Giana and I, we both really just admire like your work ethic and what you've been doing. And like, did we even mention the cosplays? Their cosplays are insane.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah, Megan's the one who introduced me to the cosplay world, and I can't go back. I can never go back. I'm obsessed. And we love bringing that to like the reviews we do when we get to a milestone, the end of a series or the end of an arc.
Yeah,
we love
for
to bring
sure.
that. Yeah.
For sure. Like, if we did my like happy marriage episode, we would have been cosplay.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Ooh,
100%.
I would love to see it.
Wait, I need to see that now. Like, that would be so good.
We must see this. Yes.
Yeah.
But the next thing I wanted to ask you guys about is actually like, what do each of you love most specifically about shoujo content?
I would say, like, shoujo in general, I think has a very special place in my heart. the genre is what I started on in anime and manga when I was younger. And I have a lot of different series that are like so nostalgic. One of those obviously being you guys were talking about like Fruits Basket, and we were kind of talking about it off mic last year when we recorded our episode. And it just takes me back. And I my main love, I guess, for the genre is like the connections that characters are able to make. And I think that it is a great story device to see how they can develop as characters and their character development throughout the story based off of a relationship and how much a person can change another with like love or kindness. And I think that's what I love about it so much.
I love that. That resonates with me so deeply. Like, I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah. I just love the character-driven stories in shoujo as well. Like,
yes.
we get to see the characters grow, but then we also feel like we're growing at the same time. And so it's just a really enriching experience.
Definitely.
Absolutely. For me, I think that, I grew up pretty opposite of Mehgan's experience. I grew up watching mostly shonen, and it was Mehgan who introduced me to shoujo. And what I fell in love with is, don't get me wrong, I love a really good anime fight with crazy powers and abilities. But to me, it always feels like, and My Happy Marriage is a great example, it feels like those things come second to the story. The story is what is at the forefront. Like Mehgan said, the relationships, the characters, and all these other things are cherries on top. And there are shonen that exist that operate that way, but I find that it's more common in shoujo, because even Queen's Quality was similar. It was about the story and the characters, and then we found out more about these abilities in this world. And I love that. I love that so much.
Yes. Honestly, me too. Just the narrative is like the best thing.
Yeah, it feels like shoujo always puts its like narrative before everything.
Yes, and that's what I look for in stories specifically. Like if I can't gauge where the characters are at, or I'm not really connected to them, then it kind of loses me in story in general. But I feel like shoujo has so many like impactful characters, and they're so strong in their personalities, and you can really feel it. It makes me more endeared to any series that I'm watching.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, you could have the coolest power in the whole world, but if I don't care about you as a character, I'm not going to be invested in what that power can do.
1,000,000%.
Yeah. So, can you guys tell us your overall feelings on My Happy Marriage?
Okay, so...
No spoilers.
Okay, no spoilers. I'll just say this. Mehgan had started the series when it first came out.
Yeah, and I was watching it weekly.
Yeah, I watched it today. I watched all 6 episodes. I started from episode 1.
Oh, wow.
And I watched every single one up until episode 6 because...
You couldn't put it down. I was like, okay, you have to watch 1 and 3 to get some context. And you're like, okay. And then you just kept watching.
So good. It is so good. And I connected to it immediately because, again, without spoilers, the relationship that the main character has with her family and how she was raised is something that I relate to. Obviously not to that degree, but, I had a stepmom who I did not get along with and who did not get along with me. And so to see, like, her sort of find her own confidence through love, through the love of another, it was, like, incredibly beautiful to me. And I was endeared and captivated by almost every character. I mean, actually, take that back. The main character and I'm bad
Kudo.
with names. Kudo, yeah. Those two, I mean, incredible. Everybody else, and I'll say this too, if you haven't seen it, be prepared to be, it sounds like on the outside it's going to be really sweet and wholesome. Be prepared to be angry, dude. I was livid.
Yes.
But in a way that a good story can make you feel.
Yes. You care for the characters. That's why you're so angry and upset, like yelling at your TV.
Yeah. I was mad.
I would say that, I mean, ditto. When I was watching it week to week, I was so stunned at how beautiful this story was, and someone who does suffer like from self-confidence and being your worst enemy, like in your own head, and telling yourself you're not good enough, you're never going to be good enough, blah blah blah. Like, I love seeing her kind of break away more and more as the series went on from that, based off of her, her past and everything, like her future and where she was going to go. That was so impactful to me. And I love seeing her journey through that. And like Josh said, like having that person in your life that can impact your life in a way that is just through telling you that you are enough and you are worthy of love. Like that was so amazing to see. And it was just gorgeous from beginning to end. I loved the beginning of the series, how her world was kind of like, darker colors and everything was more dreary. And then once Kudo came into her life, it was like a blossom of color and she could live her life the way she wanted to finally without any, I guess conditions or having to be perfect, because no one's perfect. And he loves her for who she is and vice versa. And I love that about it.
Yes, I love that so much as well. Like, their story is so awe-inspiring, and the fact that, you get to see Miyo grow as this person, like, she's actually starts to seriously think of herself as a person and is able to just blossom within this relationship, like you said, Mehgan, is just beautiful to see. But there are also some very angry moments as well. So we are going to finally get into
let's dig in.
the review. Yes, let's dig in. Okay, so here is our soft serve summary for My Happy Marriage, episode 4, The Gift, brought to you by Wikipedia. Godspeed to me. Wikipedia summaries kick our ass, but it's okay. Okay. Miyo asks Yurie's help in giving a gift to Kudo. Yurie suggests something handmade, so Miyo chooses to create a kumi himo, which is a braided cord, since Kudo always ties his hair with one. Kudo later gives her a protective charm. While shopping, Miyo encounters Kaya and Kouji. Kaya begins bullying Miyo until she learns that Miyo is still engaged to Kudo. Elsewhere, Kudo visits the Saimoris and informs them that they will receive none of the traditional benefits from Miyo marrying into a powerful family unless she receives a full apology from them. Kaya later briefly encounters Kudo and is struck by his beauty. Yurie informs Kudo of the incident and encourages him to give Miyo his unconditional love. When Kudo invites Hana over, a servant Miyo was close to as a child before she was unfairly dismissed by the Saimoris, Miyo is overjoyed to see her. She soon realizes Kudo must know her entire history, including her lack of spiritual talents, yet he wants to marry her anyway. Feeling very relieved, she gifts the kumihimo to Kudo, who promises he will never reject her. Watching their blossoming love through a shikigami, Minoru, Kouji's dad, desperately plots to break them up with a plan involving Kaya. And that is our summary. Woo!
You did it. You got through it.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. Okay, so I guess let's just start off with you, Josh. Do you have a theme for this episode?
I mean, this episode was so sweet. The theme of not really needing to spend all this money to show how much you love and appreciate someone. They both did it in this episode, right? Like, she made something for him, handmade, that she knew he would appreciate, that he would use, and he did the same thing. He didn't go out and get her an extravagant piece of jewelry or clothing. He reconnected her with someone from her past that was unfortunately separated from her. So it was just showing your love to the person you care about through these gifts that are very personal to them. Also, him going to bat for her, even though they were her parents, him stepping up was very beautiful too. Like, just because, you want to be respectful all the time, but just because someone's parents are the parents of the person you love, if they're mistreating that person, I mean, it's okay to stand up to them.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great theme. Mehgan, what is your theme?
I wrote, do not give your past the power to define your future.
Oh, shit. That was better than mine.
Oh,
Nice.
snaps. Absolute snaps.
I mean, yeah, I genuinely felt so happy for Miyo at the beginning of this episode. You could tell she was like genuinely happy and she was trying to let go all of that negativity that has been hovering over her for so long. But again, seeing her sister was like probably the worst thing that could have happened in any situation because Kaya's Kaya, and we'll get into it. But how I feel about that character.
Kaya, more like Daya. How about
that? Today.
Yeah, today.
Yeah.
The sooner the better. Bye.
For real. I mean, yeah, she's just awful. But yeah, it was definitely just the trigger for her to go right back into her feeling worthless about herself and her just completely taking 10 steps back. And, Kaya represents her past while Kudo represents her future. And what, that can be and how much she deserves to be loved and appreciated. And just like Josh said, calling her housemate, her kind of like nanny in a way, and calling her back and showing her that this person that you're with went above and beyond because he knew that you were feeling kind of down and out. He called me and he wanted me to reconnect with you because he knows that you needed it. And that was just so touching because no one else in her life has done that and gone up to bat, like you said, for her. So yeah, just looking towards the future and not focusing on the past because it will drive your life in a worse direction.
It's kind of like if you don't live with your parents, going back to visit your parents, and sometimes you feel like you've grown so much.
Yeah.
But the moment you go back, because they saw you your whole life, you feel like you're kind of reverting back to like an older version of you. But you're right, Mehgan. I'm not going to let my past define me, dude. I'm going to stand up.
Oh.
At Christmas.
Yes.
It's going down.
Yes. Right. Nice. Yep. Yes. Very good. Although I do think, Josh, your theme was also great too. So let's not knock that out. Like it was good too.
I just had a quote. You came from the heart.
Yeah. No. Like both of yours was fire. I'm just saying. Like,
yes. Much better than what I have.
Now, speaking of that, Giana, what is yours?
So I honestly just put not a quote from Yurie, but when she's encouraging Miyo to give her gift to Kudo and let him know the things that are troubling her on her mind, where she's, afraid of letting him know that she doesn't have these abilities and she's afraid of being this huge disappointment. And Yurie says something to her about find your courage. So I put find your courage and let it guide you. Because it will lead you to, your potential and where good things that could happen for you.
Yes.
That's great.
Also good.
That was great.
That was great.
Thanks. Oh, thanks, guys.
Yes. I feel like mine is also in the same realm of that. Is probably basically the same thing. I just said building one's confidence through genuine love.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is just mine is the most basic. So, we're all to the point, but
yours is one of my favorite quotes from the episode. Like my favorite moment.
Because I think that what we know about Miyo is that obviously she grew up in a terrible home situation. And all she's ever gotten was this disregard and disrespect and hate for no reason. And when it comes to having confidence, the first place that you're supposed to actually build that at is in your family home. Mm. The people around you are supposed to be the ones that build you up, that tell you how great you are so that you can be able to face the day or face whatever is being held for you on the outside, right? And so because Miyo's now with Kudo, he is essentially also building her up now, him and Yurie. And it's just really beautiful to see. And we also get to see that progress as well. But yeah, let's move into Sprinkle on Top. First off, does everybody have a sprinkle on top?
I do.
I'll go last.
Okay. Let me just start off with this because we might all have the same idea. We might not. I just put the braided cord that she made that Miyo made for Kudo.
Yep. It's the main episode the feeling of the episode. Like, it all lands on the braided cord. Of course. It was so beautiful.
Yes. So she was so excited to make it, to put it together, and even when she was feeling terrible about herself, she still wanted to give back to this person that had done so much for her. And so it was just nice to even see that. And I know I haven't read the manga or the light novel, but when you see the different art or the imagery from that, you can see him wearing the braided cord in it. So I was just look at this. We get to see how it all came to be. It's so nice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So let's actually move to Mehgan. Did you have the same thing?
Yeah, I had the same one. Obviously, the braided cord, because obviously the subtitle say braided cord, but it is kumihimo. And I was just kind of researching more into that. And the meaning is, of course, gathered threads. And I kind of took that as symbolism of them now, intertwining, their lives intertwining, and now they're actively a part of each other's lives. So they're trying to make it better for themselves in their own way. Obviously Kudo making an effort to go see her parents and let them know, what's about to happen. If you don't get an apology, then, I'm out. We're not giving you any money. We're not giving you anything. And then Miyo, making this gift for him because she really believes, even though she can, make all these amazing dishes and clean and do these things. And she's so polite and nice. And she's just amazing. She just really thinks that she's garbage trash. So her making this thing for him with her own hands was so important too. And
because if he thinks it's beautiful, then it has to be beautiful. And then that's also meaning that she has to accept her own abilities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And knowing that she could make something of value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Giana.
So my sprinkle on top, I have two. The second one's kind of a joke, but I'll do the serious one first. So it does have to do with the braided cord. I'm really big into color symbolism and stuff. So I looked up symbolism for the colors that she used because it looked like she used a purple, a gold, and a lavender color. So
Lakers.
Purple.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Sorry. You're being serious. I'm sorry.
Right? Rip Kobe. But yeah, my bad. Shit. Sorry.
Oh my god. But so I think that the colors that she chose really encapsulate both him as an individual, them as a couple, and also what he can provide for her and her to him, just all together. So I'll just read them out. So purple is a symbol of royalty, luxury, trust, and reliability. Gold is a symbol of wealth, luxury, triumph, achievement, and even divinity and power. And lavender, I went off of lavender flowers, but the color by association really symbolizes peace, healing, serenity, devotion, and calmness. And I think that all of that really encapsulates what they have.
Yes. Y'all are going hard this episode. Oh my God.
Yeah, my happy marriage really brought it out of me. My second sprinkle on top is that she might not have quote unquote the gift, but she gives him a gift in this episode. That's it.
Great. That's brilliant.
Yes. The title's called The Gift, so I don't know, it was a multi-meaning pun.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
My God. And
I love it.
She's also a gift to him. He was living his life not the way, just super cold and just focused on work. And now he feels love too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay, Josh, it's your turn.
So obviously the cord, right? But for me, it was so meaningful because I find making things very therapeutic. And again, it's about her recognizing her own self-worth and understanding and realizing that she is extremely capable and she is worthy of this love. And for me, again, whenever I've had my own sort of issues with self-esteem and self-confidence, but making something, starting something, finishing it, and giving that gift to somebody else, at the end of it, it's so, I think, powerful to look at it and say, I did that, I made that, and to be proud of that. And to give that to somebody else, I think that just does wonders for self-esteem and wonders for confidence. And I think it was very powerful for her to have made something with her hands to give to him.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree. It's just so heartfelt too, because it's like all like, because it's, I mean, obviously the fact that she cooks and stuff like that means a lot, but like, you get to keep this.
Yeah, he's gonna wear that forever.
Toss his hair around like, look at my girl made this.
Yeah, he's gonna be extra dramatic at work.
Yeah,
flipping his hair for no reason, just so people can see it. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So let's move into Floats Your Boat. Giana, would you like to kick it off?
Oh, sure. I feel like we talked a lot about the gift and how wonderful that was, so I don't think I'm gonna use it as my first floats your boat, but because I feel like that's kind of a given. But my second one was Kudo confronting the parents. Actually,
that was mine.
Hell yeah! I mean, everyone.
The way I put that in all caps when he's like, "We know the hell you forced her to live through, and no benefits unless they apologize." Oh my god, I love this man.
Yes,
yes.
I want to be this.
He's incredible.
I want to be this man and be with this man.
Oh,
yes.
Ooh, yes. And his thin bundles. Yeah, I love the fact that he confronted the dad and the stepmom, and that was kind of like the ace in the hole because they couldn't just ignore him right off because of the fact of how strong he is. And how influential that would be to have ties to Kudo in a familial way. And so I like that he sort of drove that home to be like, if you want to have ties with us, you need to apologize to Miyo. Like, just put that shit on the table.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Yeah, he's like, it's not about tactics. It's not about strategy. Like, I really don't care. I
really don't. Looked at them in the face. I do not give a shit about you because I already know what was happening in this house. And I literally hate you. But
all the things that you would bring to the table interest me. I have zero interest in them because of how horrible.
Because they're coming from you.
Yeah, you are.
Exactly.
Okay, Mehgan, what is one of your likes?
Again, that whole scene was amazing. I did put when Miyo at the end of the episode, like, finally kind of admitted, like, for the first time to him, like, to maybe at all, what she wanted. She said, I want to stay with you. Like, she didn't let her sister Kaya influence her decision on, I want to leave. She's basically telling him, like, if you want to end this now, I'm totally okay with that. I know I'm garbage. Obviously, she's not, but she thinks that. And he goes, no, like, if you want to leave, sure, but I want you to stay. And she's like, but I want to stay too. It just made me, like, my heart skip a beat when they hugged and they just embraced and she gave him the gift. And it just all was such a perfect wrap up with the whole episode. And I think that her finally saying it out loud was really impactful.
Definitely. It really was.
Yeah. Just her being able to admit that to herself and to him, like, I do want to be here. I do want to stay with you. Like, I would just give her a hug. Just, like, good job, Miyo. Like, yes. You better advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, Josh, what is one of your likes?
It was that scene. I mean, I was so... I mean, again, this series makes me upset, but in the way that it's supposed to. And so when he went to go confront the parents, it made me, I was already in love with him, but I fell even deeper in love with him because he was so willing to stand up for her and look these people, these horrible people, and the stepmom, the dad, obviously the sister, but even the dad, like all of them, look them in the eye and tell them, like, look, until I get an apology, I don't want anything to do with you. And again, I'm sure, as strong as he is, I'm sure having somebody else like them on his side would be helpful. I'm sure it would not be worthless. But again, he doesn't care about that. He only wants to be involved. It's a situation where he wants to be surrounded by people that he respects and not people that just have things or were born into things or, and demanding an apology. I hope to. I didn't want him to let them think on it. I wanted him to make them apologize right there in that moment. Then I also wanted them to apologize and for him to go, all right, cool. Yeah, I wasn't really serious about any of that. So,
oh my God.
Later, because I mean, they're awful. They're awful. Every single one of them in that house are awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely the moment that I was all in on him, and yeah, I love that. Fell in love with him.
Yeah. Honestly, you took the cake with that, because it's like, I will double cross you to get what I want. But like, apologize, I'm not taking it.
Yeah.
Or bye.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think something that I liked, aside from what we've already mentioned, is that, you know, when she was actually deciding to like make the Kumi Himo for Kudo, and they were at the store and she was imagining it, like what it would look like on him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was just like, oh, she is just so cute. Let me put her in my pocket. Like,
Yeah, it's so precious.
Yeah.
Because like the first thing of even like creating stuff is just imagining what will the final product be. And the way you could even see in her mind's eye, like the way that she thinks of him, how she sees him and stuff, because it wasn't just like, oh, he's casually wearing like the cord, like his hair was kind of flowing and stuff, and the sun was on him. I was like, okay, girl, I know this is love. Like,
Oh, for sure.
yes. Okay. Does anybody have any more floats your boat?
So my next floats your boat is Yurie to the rescue. I love that she was able to sort of get Miyo out of that freeze state, which is rocky road. But I'm not going to go into that. So when Kaya is bullying Miyo on the street and she's like, you know, saying all those terrible things to her, Yurie comes over and sets the situation straight really quickly, saying, I'm her servant, not her colleague, and is able to take her out of that situation. I was just really happy to see that go so smoothly and to see Miyo get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was mine too. We're on the same page.
I'm
same
sorry I
wavelength.
stole it.
No, we're on the same wavelength.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved it too. I love that moment. And again, similar to the apology, I mean, this says way more about me, but I wanted her to go so much harder. Like, I wanted
Oh, so did I.
her to show up and be like, yeah, why are you, like, press her back? Like, why would you assume that we work together? You know, I just wanted it to be more confrontational, but obviously she played it way better. But that was another really cool moment to see her kind of immediately pick up on what was going on.
Miyo just looked petrified.
Yeah.
She was completely triggered,
definitely.
just frozen in fear. And it was just awful to watch. But I was so happy that now, instead of before, she had someone batting for her and was able to step in and take her away from that situation.
Who notices those things about her, who is paying attention to how she is feeling.
Yes.
You know? And yeah, that was a powerful moment.
Yeah. And I think, although I would have loved to have seen Yurie confront Kaya more, I feel that because of like her standing as being a servant of the Kudo house, it's like she did the best job in walking that fine line of explaining Miyo's standing in the house, that she's the lady of the house and that they're not on the same level and stuff, and was able to maneuver that situation. So like, because, you know, Kaya is pretty vindictive. So it's like, as much as I would have wanted to see, you know, Yurie get into her ass a little bit, her being able to just say, okay, well, actually, this is the situation, and we're firmly going to be going back to the house. Good day.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Just literal, this is so funny, but literal kudos to Yurie.
That was good. That was good.
Oh my god. That might have to be the title of the episode, Literal Kudos. I love that so much.
UDA, more like UDA.
That was good. That was good. That was
Okay,
good.
I just want to add on the train.
Okay, more likes, people? Or
I mean,
are there more likes?
I do have more. I don't want to overtalk though.
No. I mean, everything you say, we're like, yes.
Yeah, I just get so like, I just get, you remind me of all the amazing things about the episode, the best moments, and I just get so excited.
Oh, thanks. Well, coming out of that scene, I really love that Yurie wastes no time in explaining her concern for Miyo's pain in front of Kaya to Kudo. I like that they're able to like commiserate their like worry and also that also spurs him thinking, like, what can I do about it? So I just love that it's not something that's swept under the rug, that they care enough about her to address it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then, like, he acts on it to even go to her room and just say, like, you know, allow yourself some peace.
I love that line. I love that line so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of lets him put the pieces together, because I think there was a moment in one of the first couple of episodes where she's not eating, and he's like, does this happen all the time? And he was kind of confused at, like, why she was so, like, closed off, or why she was just so, I guess, down. And I think, you know, his servant is, like, gently nudging him towards the answer to these questions of, like, oh, she feels very deflated. This is how she acts when she kind of, like, reverts back or goes back into her shell, you know, and they both, like, want to bring her out of that shell. And yeah, I agree that it's so cool that he has a person there with him to kind of talk to these things with, and to guide him to be a better, you know, partner, to listen, to pay attention.
Yeah.
Not that he doesn't. He's really good at that.
Honestly, Yurie is such a gift, because, like,
I love her. She's great.
Yeah.
Forever floats your boat.
Yeah.
Forever, yeah.
I mean, both of them are so, like, I mean, I want to move in. Is there an extra room available?
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, do you have a brother or sister, Kudo, that, like, is also
That'd be
looking
funny
like...
if his brother was like an asshole, you know?
Right.
Complete opposite.
Yeah. The actual cold one.
Yeah.
I love that Kudo sent for Hana to like visit Miyo.
Oh my god. I literally, her expression, and I guess that was a part of, like, my rocky road, but her expression when she saw her was, like, it melted my heart. You could just see her, like, childlike innocence, like, come back, and her just, like, be transported to the moment, the last moment that she saw her, never thinking she was gonna see her again. It was so emotional.
And I get it, you know, you never know what is going to happen in someone's life in a situation like that. But for her to also see that life goes on, like, just because you're not at that house, she found her own happiness. She says, I'm married, you know, I have a pretty decent life. Like, life goes on, things get better. It's not the end of the world. And because, you know, I think maybe she also was secretly feeling sort of maybe responsible, which is so unfair, because she was a child and they were the ones that put her in that situation. But I think that also, like, was like a weight off her shoulders, because she was, I think, carrying that guilt. Like, what if I ruined her life? What if she's in the streets begging for money because she defended me, someone who is worthless to herself, she would think. But yeah, I think it was a beautiful moment of closure for her, and a beautiful way to illustrate that things do get better.
Yeah.
Yes, like, this is the closest example that we've seen since, like, I guess starting Shoujo Sundae, of someone actually getting a therapist. Like, this is the closest instance. I'm just like, wow, okay. The person that he got is, like, immediately can tap into that childhood trauma and understand where Miyo is coming from, and be able to alleviate that pain and stuff. But yeah, you know, Mehgan, I also had this in Rocky Road as well. I feel like Giana and I, we are known to compartmentalize certain scenes where it's just like, oh, I do like that he did that, but I also cried. But, like,
Yeah. Because I had Hana in Floats Your Boat as well. I just love that not only do they get reunited, we learn how much Hana is thriving. It's just so good to see.
Okay, Josh, Mehgan, do you have any more likes?
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think we got him.
Oh, wait, I lied. I have one. My bad, y'all. My last one is Kudos when he hugged her after she told him the truth and, like, gave the because that hug, that was like a long hug. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
that was wonderful.
And he was blushing, and she even, like, kind of stopped him to say, not to say stop this, but he kind of assumed, like, oh, damn, I've been hugging her a little too long. She's like, no, it's not that.
Right.
You know, it's not that. And that was a really sweet moment from him, to see him kind of get a little, like, not embarrassed, but shy, you know, a little rosy cheeked. It was cute.
Yeah.
Very cute, yeah. But that was the last Floats Your Boat I have. So I guess we can move into Banana Split. Josh, do you have any banana splits?
I'm just confused that Kaya's a sister. That's her name?
Mhm.
I'm just confused as to why anybody lets her out of that house.
Oh,
Right? Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
I'm confused how
Yeah.
she's lasted
a
this
walking
long and hasn't
tornado.
been slapped across the face.
Yeah,
you know?
dude.
Right.
That's my confusion. But no, I mean, I wasn't really unsure about anything. I mean, I really, like I said, enjoyed this episode. I thought outside of that one, like, confrontational interaction, it was a pretty sweet overall episode.
Mhm.
Yeah. But Kaya is, she's on my shit list. I'm watching.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Wait till we get to Hot Fudge. That will be the time where we can all unleash on her.
Good.
Yes.
I need it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Giana?
I actually don't have any banana split either. I was apparently feeling one way or the other this episode.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, Mehgan?
I guess the same along the same line of the confrontation. Like, how could Kouji, how he could just like stand there and let Kai? It was like him letting it was like a crazy, like, non-trained animal just like barking and like trying to bite another person, and their owner's just like, she's okay, she won't bite you.
She just gets like this.
Yeah, like the most vicious, horrible, like, animal trying to rip you to shreds. And she was ripping Miyo to shreds.
Oh, yeah.
And he was just like,
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is. I'm like, how could you just stand there and let her do this?
Like,
he tried, but
it
not
was
hard
like,
enough.
Yeah, no, not nearly as hard
Yeah.
enough.
It was awful.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, definitely awful. I didn't get that as well. It's like, you understand what she's been through. You even wanted to marry her to get her away from this.
Yeah.
And here you are just standing and watching it happen again.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
Yeah.
it's so frustrating. And obviously, as we go on in these next couple episodes, that he does get better. But in that moment, I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if
If
I
anybody
was,
knows her situation,
yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah. She's having her own life. She's doing her own thing.
Yeah,
Like, there's just no reason for her to be treating her still like this.
yeah, you had the servant who just knew her for like 3 days come up and defend her better than her childhood friend did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that, I mean, I didn't, not even just confused. We also used Banana Split to just be like, I don't really know where to put this scene at times. So I think Kouji's brother, like, when he literally zipped his lips, I was like, that's funny, but it's also wrong. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how
Yeah.
to feel.
I'm waiting, dude. I'm waiting for more of him. That's another character I love.
Yeah.
Because he's just so,
I'm intrigued.
he's so, like, aloof. Like, I don't really know where he lies
Smug.
right
He's
now.
smug.
I
Yeah.
don't even see it as
Yeah.
smug. He just seems like he thinks everything. He doesn't take anything seriously. Everybody's so, like,
Right.
concerned about, like, family bloodlines and powers and abilities, and he's kind of like, this is all kind of silly, and he just does whatever he wants
Right.
to
He's
do.
just along for the ride.
Yeah.
The last one that I have is just Miyo saying that she would die if Kudo wanted her to. I know where that stems from because he literally told her that in the very beginning. If I tell you to die, you should die, or whatever. But when she said it this time, I was just like, girl, I know you're going through the gamut. So it's like, I'm not going to
Hold it against
I'm
you.
not gonna hold it against you, but you're being a tad bit dramatic.
For real.
Just saying.
Yeah.
That's part of one of my rocky roads, but I know where you're coming from. It is a lot.
Yeah. Because I mean, if he did tell you, what you finna do? Like,
Exactly.
you really
that.
gonna die?
Exactly that.
Like-
Exactly that. Which is kind of scary. But again, it just like reinforces like
Mhm.
how little she thinks about herself.
But also, I think,
Yeah.
you know what? Maybe she knows that he would never ask her to do that. You know?
I mean, I don't,
Oh, right now.
yeah, right.
I guess, like now.
I guess since we're talking about it, it is part of one of my rocky roads because when she like goes on that whole thing and she confesses to him about the abilities and stuff. It's a very emotional scene. And that's coming right off of her sister, like, coming back and bullying her and just essentially, like, reinstating this state she was in when she was abused constantly as a kid. So I think it just brought her back into that mind space of her feeling worthless. And then she's afraid to tell him about her lack of abilities because she's like, he's so special. how do I tell him that I'm not? And will he leave and take my happiness with him? And so she's just kind of expecting that because she's primed for that after her sister put her down so badly. So I think that that's where it's coming from. And that's why that's in Rocky Road, because she just spiraled right down to a really dark place. And it's, I'm really glad that she has him and Yurie to pick her out of it, because that's not an easy place to leave.
Yeah. Yeah, I fully understand it. And also, perfect segue, Giana.
Okay.
To Rocky Road.
Okay.
Just scenes that made us cry and be teary. But yeah, I fully agree with what you're saying and stuff. I just think at the time I was just like, I know why. It didn't make me cry necessarily when she did it. Like, I understood where it was. I was just like, girl, you ain't gonna die.
It was pretty drastic to hear.
Yeah. And it's great that he loves you, but you need to live for you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess let's move into Rocky Road. Mehgan, what is one of yours?
I mean, we talked about it briefly before, and it was kind of like tied to the Rocky Road that I had. Forgive me, I totally forgot the housekeeper's name. Hana. That whole scene with her meeting her again and talking with her and getting that confirmation, like you said, Josh, how, life goes on. I'm so much better now. You shouldn't have put that on you for so long. Like, and the fact that she was wondering, how did you get here? I mean, who contacted you? Like, how did you know where I was? And the fact that Kudo went out of his way to find her and write her and tell her, like, oh my God, like, I mean, anyone can be so lucky to have a partner that like goes above and beyond for you. And again, it didn't cost a fortune. It wasn't anything extravagant. It was just a simple human connection and relationship that he was giving back to her. And it was just so beautiful. And her facial expressions when she saw her again, it just made me very emotional when I saw it for the first time.
Yes. Hana was able to heal that wound. Not fully, but she was able to like partially heal that wound inside of Miyo, at least in relation to herself. Just like, yes, I lost my job, but I am A-okay. I'm married. I live my life. I mean, Josh talked about this earlier, like how life goes on outside of the Saimori household. So yeah, that was also something that was deeply emotional for me as well. Josh, what is one of your Rocky Roads?
I mean, it had to be the moment where she told him about not having any abilities, because that, to me, was her, like, bearing her whole soul and self to him, coming to him, and truly, like, exposing, I guess, or, like, revealing the one thing that she was maybe a part of her, because she had been conditioned to believe this was going to be the one thing that made him fall out of love with her. She was ready, I think, for him to be mean, to be cruel, because this has been her life up until this moment. And she kind of like put it all out on the table, clenching that, ribbon that she had made that was in her hands the entire time, this piece of herself. And for him to accept her in that moment, accepting her for, I guess, quote unquote, her flaws, but accepting her for who she was, and then for her to give that piece of herself to him, it was all just very beautiful, very emotional. And I think at its core, that scene really spoke to me, and I loved it.
Yeah. Also that like connection. I guess there's also like this hair connection too, because in our previous episode covering My Happy Marriage, in like the first 3 episodes, Kudo gives her a new brush, right?
Right.
And then she goes to him and says, oh, I'll cherish it for the rest of my life. Now here we have her creating this kumihimo for him. And now it's his turn to say, could you put this on me? I will cherish this for the rest of my life.
That was so sweet.
I really loved that. Yeah. Giana.
I was going to go on to a different Rocky Road. So if you want to elaborate, please feel free.
No, it was just, again, I just keep thinking about it, and the more I think about it, it's really beautiful, because I feel like everybody can compare themselves to everybody else all the time and constantly feel like they have less value because they're looking at what everybody else has instead of looking at what they have. And all you need is to surround yourself with people who appreciate who you are and what you bring, and not constantly compare yourself to everybody else. And I just think that was, again, it really did speak to me. And I really like that moment.
Yeah, I think that that's an important thing that, I mean, I need to be reminded of that often. I'm sure people listening also need that reminder. So definitely worth saying. My last rocky road, it's kind of two, but I'm going to put them into one. I was already sort of touching on this. When Miyo sees Kaya on the street, she enters a freeze state, like, immediately, and she starts trembling at the mere sound of her voice. And that's hard to see.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of, I don't want to, like, I don't know how personal I should get, but, you know, there have been situations where it's like a person has maybe said something to me, and I'm not going to go into details. And then it's like I have
Chika.
been
No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
No,
It would never be me. I'd go to jail beyond Giana.
no, it would never be Chika. No, I confided in Chika about this situation. Actually, when it happened, it was like not a cool thing that happened at all. And then I had to like continue to be around this person for a few months before, luckily, they were like out of my life. And like anytime I had to like interact with them, and then even just like someone brings them up, and it just kind of comes back into my body how I felt in the moment that they said the thing they said.
100%.
So like to see this picture, it also like really resonated with me, and also just I felt for Miyo because it's a much different, she has a much different, like, more intense situation than I went through, but you know, just to see her go through that, just my heart ached for her. And then she's sitting in the dark, just sad, like in that, after seeing her sister before, luckily, you know, people are able to check on her. So that just like super hit me in Rocky Road tonight.
I would honestly, like, just put me in the clink. Like, that's with what happened with Giada, but also with this, like, if I was up in this anime, just put me in the clink, because, Kai, you would not be safe from me.
No,
like,
no.
No, girl, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, if Chika was the one standing next to her in that scene, it would have been a different scene.
Oh,
Yeah.
Different. Entirely different.
Hold me back.
Yes. I think the rocky road that I have, because we went through mine, I think this is just kind of going back to her conversation with Hana, like Miyo's conversation with Hana. She breaks down and she's just asking, like, how can I be happy when I don't belong here? And like that really hit me, because it's just like, oh, like, I get it, you know, like, when you have so much bad happen to you and something good happens, it's like, do I even deserve this?
100%.
Like,
Yeah.
100%.
is this real? Is everyone sure, you know? And I'm just glad she was able to have Hana tell her, like, you can be happy. There's life after abuse and hatred from terrible people.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any more rocky road?
Nope.
We do have nuts here. Does anybody have any nuts points? Which is like, oh, this was crazy.
I kind of anticipated at some point, like, Kaya would run into Miyo or vice versa. I didn't know when or how, but I remember watching it and I was like, oh no, like, no, this had to happen now. Like, she was just so content shopping for her man's gift, and this horrible being runs into her life. That's what shocked me the most. I was so upset at everyone for putting her in this situation. But that's pretty much it. I was just kind of shocked that it happened like that, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
In broad daylight, too. In a busy street.
She doesn't care.
Yeah, she did not care.
No, she doesn't care. Again, Kaya's been raised all of her life to triumph over her sister and be better, and told that she's better. So she doesn't care. This is how she is. I mean, it's enforced that behavior.
Yeah.
Her parents have enforced that with her, which is horrible.
And the crazy thing is, like, as far as like nuts things go, I wasn't really shocked, and that's sad. Like, I wasn't shocked at how hard, you know, she went. I wasn't shocked that you know, that the childhood friend, you know, character that he didn't stand up for her at all. Like, I was appalled, but I mean, you know, it's kind of sad that this is like just who they are, you know, at this point.
Yeah. The nuts point that I had is just Miyo's mom talking to her in her dream.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really
It's
good.
getting me thinking. It's getting me thinking that maybe she has a gift after all if she's communing with a dead person.
Right? 'Cause I was just like, oh, not the mama's talking to us. I mean, well, to Miyo, but I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Because in the dream she was talking to Miyo's dad and stuff, and I was just like, yeah, you would dream about your dad not being shit to your mom. Like, I could totally see it.
Yeah. She's like, every night.
Every night on repeat.
I want to ask you guys a question, all three of you guys, actually, because I was kind of wondering whether or not it would eventually be. I haven't watched past episode 6, but I was wondering if it might.
And I've watched all of it.
Oh, you have watched all of it. Okay, so if you know the answer.
I mean, I won't. No spoilers.
Yeah, don't spoil me. But if she does end up having this ability, do you guys think that would sort of take away from the message of, because the message of being enough by just being who you are? Because not only is it starting to seem like she has or might have an ability, but it's starting to seem like she might have the most valuable ability out of all the abilities. Do you think that takes away from that message at all?
I think that if it had begun to show itself, like, in a more tangible way, where it was, like, more easily noticeable, it would, but I think that because she's being so fiercely accepted under just being assumed to be a normal girl, I don't think it will take away from it if she eventually develops it, but if it was something that, like, was picked up on before he was so fierce about the engagement, then it would be like, okay, that maybe takes away from it a little bit.
Right. So you're saying because he's accepted her already under the assumption that she has no ability. But if it would have been him knowing before, then it would have changed everything.
Right. Like, he's not even talking about the Usuba bloodline or anything. He just likes her for her.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think even touching on, like, the sprinkle on top that I had for the episode about building confidence and stuff, like, Miyo has only started learning that she is enough by being in this relationship with Kudo. So her balance on that isn't fully formulated yet. So even if she develops, like, this awesome superpower, I don't think that it takes away from the story. And I think if she even showed it earlier on, right? Like, let's say when the dad was doing that test on, like, Spirit Sight and like Miyo's power manifested, she still wouldn't have been enough. They would have found a way to, like, still break her down, because it's not like the stepmother's going to change her colors and stuff. And then by proxy of that, like, Kaya is going to replicate her mom because she wants to be the most important. So they would have found a way to still belittle her anyway.
For
At least that's what I think.
Yeah, they probably would have.
I agree.
Yeah, because of what the stepmom was already bringing into the relationship.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she would have found a reason.
Well, let's get into Hot Fudge. Things that pissed us off. Josh, actually, because I know you were waiting for this. Take it away. Take it away.
Yeah, you can't see me right now, but I'm freaking shaking.
He's standing up, and he has like a pitchfork in his hand, actually, and he has both hands hanging on, and he has the mic up to his face.
I'm with Chika on this, dude. If I was there, I mean, you would have had to hold me back, because, I mean, that scene of her and everything that Giana said about seeing her freezing in that moment, too. But that scene of the sisters showing up made my blood boil. And Giana, I'm so sorry that something like that happened to you. You and Chika both are incredible, amazing people. And if I knew who that person was, you'd have to hold me back too. But yeah, I mean, she has an incredible ability, the sister, to make my blood go to boiling in 0.0 seconds, dude.
Oh,
I mean, I got so angry. And that's something that it'd be a show called My Happy Marriage, you showed me the cover of the manga or the poster for the anime, I would have thought, oh, this is sweet. This is nice. This is lovely. This is lovely.
Yeah.
But really, I think the majority of the emotions I feel is just wanting to jump through the screen and defend our girl, dude. You know what I mean? Just like be there for her. And shut this shit down.
No, for real. I mean, like, we both had watched Fruits Basket, all of it. We watched it, and there are times when we do get upset about how Toru is treated, and she's a ray of sunshine, and people just shit on her all the time. But this is a different level. This is a completely different level of pure verbal abuse. And later, physical abuse. I mean, it's just awful. So it just makes it's just even worse.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can't remember the last time, which is a credit to the writing. I mean, I always say that for sure. Like, I'm supposed to be angry, and so many other series might have characters that I'm supposed to be mad at. But what's so great about the writing, at least from what I've seen in these 6 episodes, is that I really genuinely feel anger with this character, and that scene just really, really, really did piss me off. For a lot of reasons, because again, her childhood friend, like, I understand, dude, there's politics and there's, all of these, like, this hierarchy of families and stuff like that, dude. But, you could step up, you could say a little bit more, you could do a little bit more than you did. And all of it was really frustrating to watch. But again, it was supposed to be.
Yeah. No, I fully agree. Kaya was the only thing that I had under hot fudge because she was talking out of her ass. And I mean, the way I was just like, girl, you're lucky I'm not here, because like I definitely would have shut your ass up.
Popped in the mouth. Just stop. Shut it down.
Just like stop. Like, if anything, I would have wished that, because Kouji's brother did that whole zip the lip thing at the beginning. Where are you, brother? Because I know somebody who needs her lips zipped. Like, and
it's her. And notice I'm like, oh, interesting, Kaya. Everyone has their hair tied back, but you don't. Plus for me, Yaga. No, straight up Yaga.
Shit.
I can't stand her face every time she's on screen. I mean, she's mainly under my hot fudge for every episode.
Yeah. Same.
That's insane.
Her name is Hot Fudge. That's it.
Yes,
it is.
Kaya's actual supernatural ability is to make blood boil.
Literally, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And also, she just don't be looking like, I'll probably say this every episode, so my bad, Giana, but she does not look like the daddy.
No.
Something in the milk is not clean. Cause like, the dad, like, how's the dad? Okay, he has brown hair. The mama has brown hair. Where is this blonde coming from?
She dyes it. She's fake. She dyes it.
That could be it.
That's a good point, though.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The only thing hot is the fudge, aka shit, coming out of her mouth.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Any more hot fudge?
I have one.
Okay.
It's in, I don't know if it's the flashback. I guess it's the dream that Miyo is having about her mother and father, when the dad says that he can't love Miyo because she was born without supernatural abilities. What the fuck? Like, frankly, how do you say that about your kid?
Right?
Because maybe this was my banana split and I forgot, but is this something that we can assume actually happened? Or is this something that she was dreaming about?
It's hard to tell, because it seems like she has these trauma dreams that could have happened, that she could have witnessed.
Right.
Or maybe she's just dreaming these things because of her mind state. It's hard to tell.
Right. It's like because I didn't know either, one way or another. I thought maybe it's a manifestation of like her feeling, right? Like how she feels. But honestly, like, it also could have straight up happened.
No, for sure. I mean, it might be a mix of both.
Yeah.
Like, how you remember things that like were along the same lines, but not word for word, or you choose to remember certain lines of dialogue from a conversation. But I think
that's not exactly what he said, but that's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
I'm kind of inclined to believe that it's something that happened, though, because of the dreams she was having in one of the episodes we covered last week, when all of her mother's belongings got thrown away, and that's something that actually happened, and she kind of redreamed that memory. So I'm unfortunately thinking that this probably happened, which makes me really mad.
Yeah. Because, like, mama, like, what happened? Like, why aren't you alive? But that's another day. Actually, that should have been a banana split. Like, like, why are you dead? Like,
we'll probably find out. I hope.
True.
Yeah, I want to know. I think, I don't know why my crazy conspiracy theory mind, I'm like, someone took her out, because she's like, she comes from a bloodline that's so powerful,
right?
That. And honestly, I don't know. Maybe she's not. But that'd be crazy if she wasn't dead. But
right. Well, she did say something like she didn't have much time left. Maybe it's one of those, like, anime main character mom illnesses situation.
Oh,
You know, I'm laughing because Megan's looking at me like she knows the answer already.
Okay. So maybe we will find out.
right.
I won't say nothing. I won't say nothing. One of mine also was the scene with the family and the audacity, and not just because we're recording on Audacity. Okay,
Behind the scenes.
I'm just kidding. I'm so sorry.
I was saying.
I love puns. Please keep them coming.
The audacity of the dad to be told all of that and be like, can you give us some time to think about the apology? Like, excuse me, bitch, what? Excuse me?
Right.
Give you time?
Yeah.
What is there to contemplate? You abused this girl.
Oh my God.
And you know what's crazy is you would think that as horrible of a person he is, he would have just done it immediately, even for like the power, even for the like allegiance.
Exactly.
Right.
But he had to even think about that.
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell?
He could have said away his like pride, I guess, for being a horrible fucking person. Like, oh my God. Like Miyo, I just couldn't believe it. I said, what do you mean you need time? What do you mean? Yeah. That would be a no-brainer. What are you talking about?
Right.
These people, man.
Why would you need time? This is the most powerful person in the military right now.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I would not take any time. I'm like, okay, shoot.
You look like you don't got a lot of time left.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
For real.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, if there's no more hot fudge, we can move into I scream, you scream, which is just our dislikes. I just have the one.
Same.
Oh, yeah. So mine is simply Kouji's dad.
Yes.
Bro.
Plotting on
goddamn.
Miyo.
Bruh. I just can't believe that people... Who are you to dabble in others' lives? Like, who are you?
And in their uterus, like, get away from
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They treat her just like a womb. That's all you are. That's all Miyo is. Just to pass on the bloodline. You are no one. You are nothing. You are a womb to us. It's absolutely the most disrespectful shit I've seen in a series in a long time, honestly. And the first start, when I read the synopsis, I was like, oh, an arrangement. I don't know how I feel.
Yeah.
And I've seen it before, and this surprised me, and I was happy with it. But yeah, the way they talk about her, man.
Also, my thing is, if he wanted Miyo and his family so badly, why didn't they just arrange for her to marry Kouji? It would have been a one episode OVA or something. It would have been real quick. But like,
no, it was because of her dad's, Miyo's dad's dumb plan.
But Kaya
like,
too.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, you like him? I want him now."
But
like,
the dad said, "Oh, the plan is we'll have her marry this guy who like kicks out or like ditches all of his other fiancés, and so when Miyo's in
she'll
the
be
streets,
thrown on the street.
you can swoop in as like the knight in shining armor, and yada yada yada." I was like, "What a dumb plan! If you care that much,
and she's that important,
Yeah.
and she's apparently that important, then make moves."
right? Like, don't do the stupid thing. Just if you're out here arranging marriages, why don't you just arrange it to the person you intend for her to actually marry?
Exactly.
It makes no sense.
I think Mehgan is right in that it's because of Kaya, because if he showed his cards and was just like, I want Miyo to be with my eldest son, I feel like Kaya would have felt away. Like, why is Miyo being with the eldest son? And so they made it seem like, oh, well, Kouji's going to help continue on the family line and just drop his last name and be with you and everything. And she's like, oh, I get everything I want. But that's not the story, Kaya. There's so much more to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just you about ruining your sister's life, which I know that's all you live for. That's all you live for. You love that shit. You love just being that person in Miyo's life to just completely ruin it. But there is more to it. And she is like a child. I mean, she's like, oh, you're playing with toys. And she always wants a toy that you're playing with. Always.
Part of me would kind of love to see her forced to be with, I forget the older brother's name, but like, just because of how he is.
Yeah.
Match made in
that
heaven.
would be fantastic. And I would love to see that.
Yeah, because he wouldn't put up with her shit.
Exactly.
Same. I would love to see that.
That
too.
would be poetic justice.
Yeah, I feel like he would just like laugh in her face.
He'd laugh in her face and then zip her mouth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any more I scream, you scream?
No.
No, I think that's it for me.
Okay, cool. Let's get into episode 5, Ripples. Here's our soft serve summary. Miyo happily accepts the kimono Kudo bought for her. At the Tatsuishi residence, Minoru, Kouji's dad, shows Kaya the photo of Miyo and Kudo. Astonished, Kaya recognizes Kudo as the beautiful man that walked past her previously. He informs Kaya that Miyo is actually getting along well with Kudo. As he hoped, Kaya becomes jealous of the situation. Meanwhile, Miyo invites Godo, who is Kudo's work colleague, for dinner as a thank you for reuniting her with Hana, her former nanny. She and Kudo are unaware of Kaya's Shikigami spying on them. Later that night, Miyo has a nightmare and Kudo consoles her. Shinichi, Miyo's dad, bluntly turns down Kaya's request to sever Miyo and Kudo's engagement, so she instead offers the suspicious Kouji a chance to marry Miyo like he wished. The next day, Miyo forgets her protective amulet while delivering a bento box to Kudo and is kidnapped soon after. Kouji discovers what his father and Kaya are plotting and becomes enraged that his father knew about Miyo's abuse but did nothing because her timid personality is better suited to his plans. Kouji attacks his father with his powers but is defeated and restrained. After Minoru leaves to deal with Miyo, Kazushi, Kouji's older brother, frees Kouji and encourages him to go help her. A distraught Yurie informs Kudo of Miyo's abduction just as Kouji arrives and desperately begs Kudo to help save Miyo. And that is our summary. So let's get into themes. Mehgan, what is your theme for this episode?
My theme for this episode is people who can't control themselves try to control the people around them. And I think that, is definitely speaking obviously to Kaya and bad with pronunciation, Minoru Tatsuishi, which is his dad. The dad, they're both scheming and plotting against this like poor girl's life for what? Like their own benefits. And also just because Kaya is obsessed with having control over Miyo, even though she is out of her house, she is not in her life anymore. She does not want her to be happy in any capacity because I think that Kaya is deeply unhappy with herself and she's putting that all on Miyo. And that was my theme for the both of them in this episode.
I fully agree with that. Giana, what is your theme?
I actually struggled to find a theme in this because there was just so much happening. So I don't necessarily have a theme. I have kind of a joke for my fellow like witchy people out there. Put up your protections. Don't forget to do that. But yeah, that's all
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Josh.
I would say that it's never too late to stand up for the right thing. I feel like, in the case of the childhood friend, the last episode, we talked a lot about how we were all so upset that he didn't stand up for Miho more, but here he does. And it's never too late to do that. And he was going up against somebody who was a lot stronger than him, someone who had a lot of authority over him, his father, It mattered. It was the right thing to do, and I'm glad he stepped up and did it. And it really doesn't matter when, it just matters that he did.
Yeah, that was really great. My theme is also, it's sort of in line with what Giana was saying, and very simple. I just said, keep your guard up at all times.
Yes.
Because you never know who's watching, and these people, like, I guess Kudo and Miyo are just primetime television for these weirdos. They don't got nothing better to do. Like,
it's a lot. Like, let her go. Damn.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I thought you guys all hated her. Damn.
No, I know you're obsessed with her now. Like, living in your head rent free at all times. Like, you guys need to just chill out.
Yeah.
You need to chill out.
Okay. So let's move into Sprinkle on Top. I will admit I do not have any for this episode. Does anybody have Sprinkle on Top?
I don't.
I have one.
Okay.
I just have her kimono that was given to her.
Yeah.
I just took it as like finally like accepting her new life and be giving a gift that she feels like she deserves to like wear this extravagant piece of clothing because, she's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That kind of touches on something that I had liked, is just the fact that the interconnections of it, because Miyo's mom had a kimono that was similar. And so it's like she's happy, she's in this relationship, and it was a coincidence that he just decided to get this kimono made for her, and it's exactly what she needed. Just really beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm stealing Megan's because I think that's perfect.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Like, me and Gianna, we'll do that. Although I feel like at that point we'll just say like twins. Like,
yeah.
Similar, like same minds. Yeah. But okay, let's move into Floats Your Boat. So Gianna, what is one of your likes?
Okay, the first thing that I have written down is when Kudo and Godo are talking in the car, and Kudo's like, don't be too familiar with her. And Godo's like, was that jealousy? And then Kudo goes, it was a violent impulse that took over me for a moment. And then Godo's like, oh, so it was jealousy. And I loved that exchange. That was so cute.
Oh my God.
I love their relationship. Their dynamic is so funny to me.
I know.
Yeah. Very opposites attract.
Yeah, because he's so authoritative and everybody else takes him like very seriously.
Yeah, respects him a lot.
Respects him, but he has this like closeness with him to kind of like, I don't know, like just treat him like he's a friend, and he's I don't know. He brings out this side of him that I never get to see from him, which is like this. He almost makes him flustered, and I like to see him a little flustered.
Yeah.
Just seeing him being able to be close with somebody else to the point where it's like, I'll beat your ass, but friendly. Like,
in a cute way.
In a cute way, like, don't step over the line, but, I'd only be this way with you. I really did like to see that dynamic as well.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, what's one of your likes?
I said it for my theme, but I really liked that Kouji, right, is the friend's name. I really liked that Kouji stood up to his father. I thought that was so awesome. And again, he didn't just stand up to him. He used his like ability on him and threw all the freaking furniture at him. And, even when his father overpowered him, he was shocked, he was scared. But the moment where his brother, this is what I say about the brother kind of like not really being able to get a gauge on him, because the brother came in and was like, if you were going to do this, then like, why are you laying on the floor right now? Like, get up, like, come on, like, go do that. So I even like that moment where the brother seemed like he was on his younger brother's side. Like, come on, like, you can do this. Like, if you're going to do it, then do it. I really like that moment a lot, because he's been sort of, to me, he felt a little bit more mysterious up until this point, and now I feel like I see a little bit more of who he is, and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
A very cool brother. Like, I'm going to tell it like it is. I don't know why you're taking this moment to calm yourself down and do all this stuff. Ain't she in danger?
Yeah.
Like,
why are you on the floor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why? Like, get up.
Get up.
Okay, Mehgan.
I just love anytime Kudo like reassures Miyo that he like truly is her support system and that they should work through any issues that they have with life together. I just find that so amazing, and I think that like anyone would be fortunate to have a partner like that who says, I know things can get tough, but you don't have to take it out. You don't have to take it on all on your own. Like, please let me in. Like, I'm here for you. I care about you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll do the same vice versa. And I just love that anytime that he says that, you can rely on me, and reassures her that he will listen and try to help her.
Yes, and like, he's just such a great positive force in her life. Like, it's really amazing to just think about. In the very beginning, I was just like, he seems kind of ain't shit, I don't know. And then now I'm just like, oh, like, do you got a brother or a sister? Because
like, literally like tossing and turning in my bed, like my feet are like up, I'm kicking them. I'm like, oh my God.
And he also, and one of mine, I'll combine two of these, is that he says that she's beautiful when he gets out of the car.
Oh my
and
God.
She's all done up with her cute cherry blossom kimono and her makeup, and she even had her nails painted. Okay, she said, I'm not playing with y'all today. And he was just awestruck and literally says he didn't even care that Goto was there. It's just like, you're beautiful. And I'm like, yes!
Oh my gosh. The way he like blushed at her and he was like, the kimono suits you. I'm squealing. Like, oh my God, it was so cute.
Yes.
Find someone that looks at you like that.
Yeah.
Yes. For real. For real. And he gives her head pats because he did give her a head pat this episode.
Yes.
I always note that. I just think it's...
There's a little counter.
I need... In particular, I need a head pat counter because I always see it. I'm like, yes, okay.
I met the quota.
Her.
I met the quota.
Giana, do you have any more likes?
I do. I have two. I'll start with the joking one first. I love that Kaya is jealous of Miyo. I wrote, sleep in that bed you made, bitch. Stay mad. I love it.
Woo! Yes. Because... girl, like...
Yeah. I just love to see her upset. You deserve to be upset because Miyo deserves this happiness.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's like, you're so focused on your sister's happiness. What makes you happy, Kaya?
Nothing.
That is the real question.
Nothing.
Like,
being better than Miyo. But she already, that's what's so crazy. She already has instilled in her that she is better. So why is she actively trying to always prove that she's better? Because everyone in her life, it tells her that she is. So why is she actively?
I think there's a moment in the next episode where she kind of she has a line where she almost second guesses it and why she might second guess it, and we'll talk about it when we get there. But
yeah. Oh, when she cooked lunch for him.
Yep.
And she got all dressed up to go to his workspace to go give him this lunch. And it's like, oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
I just love all the, her new kimonos. I'm just like, yes, she's a brand new girly. Like,
I love it. Her kimonos are so beautiful. She's so gorgeous. And I love the change of like from the beginning of the series, her bangs kind of hovered over her face and she was just trying to shrivel up into nothing. But now she's just so radiant and she's just so gorgeous. Kudo's so lucky to have her.
He is.
Yes.
He is.
Yeah, her lunch was actually my last floats your boat. I thought that was so sweet that she made him lunch because he overworks himself and doesn't remember to take breaks.
Oh, love. Oh. Basically, I think that was actually my last like as well. So, Josh and Mehgan, do you have any more likes?
I don't think I do because this episode, as the runtime goes on towards the end, it gets pretty crazy.
It gets dark.
Yeah.
I did not expect that. I knew when she had forgotten her amulet. I was like, no, please, no.
Right,
yeah. Okay, I guess we can go into Banana Split. Mehgan, do you want to kick it off?
I didn't really have any. I mean, when I was first watching it, I it's so funny because we're so focused on the characters and I was so involved with their relationships and everything. Like when the abilities do come up in the story, I'm like, oh yeah. There's this thing. So when she is getting, I think, kidnapped in this episode, there's like invisible. I was like, what is happening? I like forget sometimes, which is not like a bad thing, but it just kind of took me by surprise, I guess. But that's pretty much it. I didn't really have anything else that I was kind of like unsure about. I was unsure for a second, and then I was like, oh yes, this is possible in this world.
Yeah. No, I feel the same way too. I think I might have said it before. Like, it's like, oh, here's the story. Supernatural abilities. What?
Yeah. I said to Chika,
episode, they don't explain it at all. It's only introduced in the second episode. And I'm like,
this is. I guess I remember I was watching it. I told you that too. I was like, I guess there's just abilities now.
But it's awesome.
Yeah.
But it really is truly awesome.
Yeah.
Right. I felt the same exact way. I was telling Chika last week when we started watching this, I went in, I didn't read a single synopsis. I just put on episode 1. I'm like, I actually think I put it in one of my nuts points last week where I was like, oh, there's just supernatural abilities in the show. I was not expecting that at all.
But I really like that. It's the show, to me, it's them telling you like what the important things about the show are.
Yeah.
And establishing the characters and their life and backstory in that first episode. And then
their experience. And their experience.
Our sprinkles on top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Josh, do you have any banana split?
Not really. I don't think so for this episode.
Okay. Gianna?
Nope. No, but I don't think I have any banana split at all this week. I'm just feeling one way or the other.
Okay. I guess it could be me. I have some banana split because I just started thinking more on it when I was watching it. First off, Kaya's level of animosity towards Miyo doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Because, which I know this probably would fit more into episode 6, but just in general, she's always had her parents' love and attention.
Yes.
And for me, it's like it would make more sense if she was indifferent to Miyo.
Yeah.
Rather than being this level of hateful that I'm going to kidnap my sister because the man that walked past me was hot. It just didn't really make sense to me because she's always one. Miyo's always been a servant. She hasn't been taken care of. Anyone that's advocated for her was kicked out of the house. So it's just like, why do you need Miyo's life to be so bad for you to feel better?
I completely agree and understand, but what I think it does a really good job of showing is that, like you said, if she really was all these things, she probably would be indifferent. But she's not, so that clearly tells us, the audience, that she's also very insecure. She's entitled for sure, and a rude and mean person, but I think that there's something in her. She was raised to be that way, so she maybe doesn't even think twice about it, but also it makes me feel like she's got clearly some sort of insecurity.
No, of course.
That she is really trying hard.
Of course.
To overcompensate.
Of course.
You
Miyo
know?
Miyo is not even standard, because again, like Chika said, and like we were saying earlier, it's like you've gotten everything that you've ever wanted. This person has been pretty much irrelevant within your family, not a part of it. So why does it upset you so much? And I think, like, again, it goes back to like what I was taking, like the theme, like, you know, people who can't control themselves, like try to control the people around them. Like that's exactly what she's doing. She has no, like, I don't know. She's only happy when she's seeing her sister in misery, pretty much.
Yeah, but, or when people are bending over backwards for her and only her.
Exactly.
Know? When anybody else is getting attention, anybody that's not her. I feel like Miyo is the one who's there right now and is the child from, you know, her father's, like her mom is her mom. And to think that her dad had this whole other relationship and this other child that came before her, that was first, I think is also another reason why she's really insecure too. Like, you know, just because you're older and just because you were the original doesn't mean that, you know, you are better than me. I'm better than you. I'm going to remind you of that every day.
Yeah, but Miyo is better than her.
No, Miyo is better. No, 100%.
Yeah, that's not even a debate. She is. Yeah, that's why she hates herself so much. Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy.
But I totally get it, Chika. I really do. I really
Yeah,
understand.
You're like, damn, like why do you hate her so much?
Yeah.
Like, you can't redirect that shit. Come on. So.
But again, if she was redirecting it, she'd redirect it to another poor soul, you know? I mean, I feel like
true.
You never want to be around her.
Right, yeah. I just have 2 more. So one is that I think Kudo could have told Miyo about what he's noticed with Kouji's family so that she would be like more on the lookout.
Ah.
Okay, I do like that.
Yeah, because like, I mean, yes, she doesn't have like special abilities, but she could still be like, okay, I'm going to make sure to keep a wide berth, not see them, be around them, go the other way.
And I don't know if he did this, but I think he could have also, when he saw the things in the sky, the little cranes, the little origami birds, whatever in the sky. Now, he could have told other people about it. Like, hey, guys, we need to be on high alert because somebody is, like, spying on us. it didn't ever show him telling anybody. He just kind of had that moment where he was like, whoever's spying on me is a fool, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, it's like back to Kudo, right? Like the spying thing, like, you know, I feel like it's a good like representation of like he has to remember that he's not just a single person.
Yeah.
That, you know, he is married.
It's not about him anymore.
It's not about only him. He has a partner that's with him 50-50. Like, I think maybe he forgot in that moment just because he's powerful doesn't mean that everyone in his life is as powerful as him.
Mm-hmm.
Right, true. Because it's like the other time when he burnt up the shikigami, I think that's what they're called, those like paper birds and stuff. My thing would just be like, why do you think that they stopped spying on you just because you noticed it?
Yeah.
Maybe they just got better at hiding it, which I guess they did.
They did.
Right, because they're certainly spying a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last banana split I had is just that Kaya and Kouji's dad are dumb because they literally don't know Kudo to be making these types of decisions for him and their plans.
Right.
Like,
they're going based off of rumors.
Right, like all Kaya did was walk past him. Just because he looks good doesn't mean that he wants you. Like
exactly, but she's been given everything.
Well, it's kind of crazy that I feel like shitty people just think everybody else is just as shitty as they are.
Oh yeah,
and then they come across somebody who's actually good, and they're like, "Oh wait, you're actually like a good person." That's crazy, you know? Like I don't know, they just assumed. Yeah, he was going to be like, "Okay, yeah, that sounds awesome."
Actually, I wanted you before. Like, no.
Okay, but that's all I had for Banana Split. So
Very valid. Very valid.
Thank you. Did anybody have anything for Rocky Road for this episode?
I have one.
Okay.
I just put that it was really sad to hear Miyo beating herself up for forgetting the amulet, calling herself the worst, and just essentially verbally abusing herself in Kaya's or her family's stead. You know, it was just really sad to see her go through that.
Yeah.
It's like she's doing that, because no one else is telling her that she's stupid. She has to tell herself because she's so used to that. And she really thinks that like one little slip up, I mean, in this instance, it was a pretty big slip up because if she had it, she would have, But,
she fucked up.
I know she actually did this time. But you know what I mean? Like not everything is the end of the world. Not, he's not going to stop loving you just because you mess up once. And
it doesn't mean she's the worst because she simply made a mistake.
Yeah.
Any more Rocky Road?
I mean, it just makes me so sad that everyone's just actively trying to ruin her life. That's pretty much.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's just always a constant with these people. It makes me just sad that she just can't live her life. And like we were talking about before, she is just seen as a mother to a hypothetical child at this moment in time, and it's really sad.
Yeah.
For me, it didn't make me want to cry, but I did get kind of emotional just thinking more about, again, that moment with the brother, because jury's still out on him 6 episodes in. I don't know how much he's going to sway to one side or the other, but for Kouji, the childhood friend, for him to realize in that moment that he's not alone in his house, right? That he's not the only one who is trying to help his friend, that he is finding out and realizing how horrible his father is, and by extension, their family is for just letting this happen and having the power to change her situation, but not doing it. And when he does stand up, just to have that support from like his inner circle, I guess, his older brother telling him in his own like kind of like older brother way, not directly like, come on, we got to go get her, but being like, what are you laying there? Like, I'm a sucker for that when there's almost like a comfortability and a casualness to someone helping somebody else. Like, if you really wanted to do it, why are you laying on the ground? Get up, go out there, come on. Like, it's just, I'm a sucker for that. I really liked that moment. It made me a little emotional.
Yeah. No, I fully understand that as well. Just having, I think it's nice just to be able to have an older sibling, just even if they don't need to fully invest into like whatever your issue is, but to have that slight backing from them can mean so much, honestly.
Right, because he didn't go to his brother for help, so he must have not really known, whether his brother would help him or not. So I think it just hit me when he saw him standing there because he seemed also shocked. Like, you're helping me? Like, what are you doing? Like, and I think that was maybe him realizing, like, I do have allies, I guess, you know, in my life.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't have any rocky road. So I guess moving to the next one, did anybody have any nuts points?
No.
For me, it was when the dad blocked all the furniture. I was like, what the hell?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's valid.
This powerful? Like, what?
Yeah.
I would have never guessed.
He did his slight big one there. Just like, I'm not trying to give that evil man a lot, but it's like, oh, you thought you were going to mess up this hair, this mustache with these chairs. But no, like,
all
I'm your dad for a reason.
From the mustache.
He's
actually.
like, once you grow it, son, you'll be as powerful as I am.
All of our family's power is stored in our mustache.
Might come to you as a beard. For me, it was my mustache.
But yeah, I thought there was something also crazy about how, you know, it seemed like it was so low effort for him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he even commented on how strong Kouji's power was. He said, like, oh, damn, like, I didn't expect you to come at me like with this much force. I didn't expect you to have this much power. But even him saying how powerful it wasn't breaking a sweat, wasn't moving a muscle really, didn't even get up out of his freaking chair, dude. Like, didn't blink.
Yeah, which makes it like way more funny what happens in the next episode.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But that set him up to seem like he was going to be pretty formidable for other people down the road. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah. The only nuts point I had is that they kidnapped Miyo in broad daylight.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Oh,
like,
yeah. And you know what was crazy too? They were invisible, but then like when the housekeeper is looking into the carriage, they like turn the invisibility off. It's like, bro, stay invisible till you drive away.
Yeah, I don't know if there's tinted windows at this point in time in history.
Yeah, no, she was looking right through the window and then they dropped the veil and it's like, come on, you could have lasted 30 more seconds, 10 more seconds.
For real.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess we can move into hot fudge. Okay, I'm just going to open the floor. Does anybody have hot fudge for this episode?
I do have one.
Okay.
I put that Kouji's father knew that Miyo was getting abused all of this time and didn't do anything to stop it because it would benefit him if she was isolated.
Yep.
That's infuriating.
Yep.
Oh, God. Because, like, to be honest, you can get more that you want with honey than vinegar.
Yep.
So, like, I don't get why he didn't play into the savior trope and just is like, you know what, Kouji, you go ahead and marry her because he wants her that bad. And I mean, we don't know the brother's abilities at this point, the full extent of them, but they all talk about how he just does whatever he wants. So, like, why not put Kaya with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so wild to me.
No, you're absolutely right. It's kind of crazy. And I guess maybe he didn't quite like plan for Kouji to take to her the way he did, but maybe he thought like, oh, this is working to my advantage too, because Koji's the honey in that situation, right? Like, he's going to be the bait on the end of our lure that's going to like really reel her in. And maybe he just kind of like, again, didn't plan for that, but it was happening. He saw it happening and was like, okay, cool. This also works to my advantage. But yeah, that was pretty crazy to hear him say out loud. Like, oh yeah, her being miserable works to my advantage. Like, that's absolutely horrible and insane.
Insidious.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was also my hot fudge. So does anyone have any others?
Not ones that top that.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just Kaya's always on the list. Kaya makes the list 100% every
For
time.
real. Yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
Okay, let's get into ice cream, you scream, then our dislikes. Yeah, ultimately it's just Kaya is me just saying that Kaya is why people shouldn't spoil their kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%. Because it's not only Miyo, right? I mean, it's not. She thinks that everything is her property. That we were talking about before with Kudo. She automatically thought because of how she was raised that Kudo would automatically say yes to this deal. She didn't even think for a second that he would say no at all. So it's just pretty crazy. Because I could see if like their family, and they are pretty like high standing, but not as high standing as the Kudo family, which is him. So, I don't know. I just think that, not that that matters, but it does matter to her and her family, clearly. But yeah, she for not for a second doubted that he would say yes. So she's just far gone in that sense. She thinks that everything is her belongings, which is pretty crazy.
Gianna, do you have an ice cream you scream?
I do, and I just reread it, and it's kind of more banana split, so I apologize about that. But I guess it's more of a question, because when Kudo is over having dinner and Miyo thanks him for driving Hana to and from the house, he runs over and takes her hands and calls her an angel and says nobody's ever said such nice things to him, and he says Kudo's such a stick in the mud, you should marry me instead. And it's he says he's kidding. I'm but is he? I think he's kidding, but it's it also just seems like a lot. I'm thinking of it from Miyo's perspective. I think if I were Miyo, I'd be startled and maybe a little uncomfortable. So I think that's why it's I scream you scream, because it just seemed like a lot, even if it's a joke.
Yeah, I think she took it really seriously too. That's why she's no, I want to stay with Kudo.
Especially for someone like Miyo, who's kind of processing and dealing and coming out of her shell. To be that comfortable and that abrasive, I guess, even if it is a joke, it's let's have some boundaries.
I mean, imagine. Yeah. Imagine if, you're with your partner and one of your besties is oh my God, you should just marry me instead. Come on. You're excuse me, what did you just say?
Yeah, yeah.
Don't
especially
say
if
that.
I haven't been with my partner for that long, right?
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Yeah. Mehgan, do you have ice cream you scream?
I didn't really have anything. I mean, it kind of fell under the hot fudge, I guess, what I disliked about the episode. And I guess that falls under what you said, the veil of the window's up, so you can't see who we are. It's okay, clearly, we know. And also the crane, the spying thing. It was just okay, didn't really make any sense, or didn't really like that they used that, and you didn't tell anyone. But that's pretty much it.
Okay, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, I want to be honest. I mean, there were things that made me mad, but it was intentional, and I think in terms of the episode as a whole, there wasn't really anything I disliked about it. Obviously, there were some things I didn't like seeing, like Miyo getting kidnapped.
Yeah.
But, overall, it was a solid episode.
Okay, let's get into episode 6. Before we even get into that, actually, we're going to issue a trigger warning. This particular episode of My Happy Marriage was extremely violent, and I mean, it was hard to watch at times, especially how Miyo was being treated, and we are going to be discussing that at length. So if you would like to kind of turn away from that, we fully understand. You could probably stop listening, post the soft serve summary, and we'll see you next week. But otherwise, I guess we can head right on into it. So here is episode 6, Determination and Thunder. Here's our soft serve summary. Miyo finds herself restrained in the Saimoris storage room by Kaya and Kanako. When Miyo refuses to call off her engagement with Kudo, Kanako assaults her. Meanwhile, Kudo and Kouji head to the Saimori residence to rescue Miyo. After Kudo destroys a barrier cast by Minoru and Shinichi, Kouji and Miyo's dads, Minoru attacks Kudo with his pyrokinetic power, which causes the residence to be set on fire. Kudo then strikes Minoru with lightning, rendering him unconscious. Once Kudo arrives in time to save Miyo, Kanako breaks down upon seeing the burning residence. Kaya approaches Kudo about being his fiancé, but he dismisses her due to her selfishness and arrogance. Frustrated, Kaya tells Kouji to leave her, but he refuses as he does not want Miyo to be tormented ever again. Elsewhere, the Emperor is displeased over the Tatsuishi's failure and grants a new person named Arata's permission to deal with Miyo and Kudo. Miyo wakes up to find Kudo by her side. Kudo reassures her that everything that happened was not her fault, as he, along with a very relieved Yurie, is glad that she is safe and sound. And that's our summary. Okay, so time to get into theme. Mehgan, do you have a theme for this episode?
Ooh, I have no words. I have no words to sum this up. I was completely, upon first watch, I didn't expect it to go here at all.
Yeah.
I was shook. I was so shook. I couldn't even believe what I was seeing in this whole episode. The stakes were extremely high. I couldn't even think of one. I was so shocked.
Yeah. Okay.
That's valid.
Yeah, it is valid. Josh, do you have a theme?
I mean, this kind of behavior is obviously like never ever okay, and I think the theme is like, no matter who the fuck you think you are, nobody is better than anybody else. Like, it's just based on like, you know, their upbringing and, you know, where they came from versus where you came from. I think the theme, the lesson is that you should never ever ever allow yourself to think that you're so much better than somebody else, that you're putting people in these like horrible positions. It's not okay. I mean, it was a lot. I mean, it was a lot.
Yeah. Gianna?
I do have a theme. I was trying to, I think, hone in on Miyo more than anything else. So I put believe in yourself and your own personal power.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah. I said never give up on what you believe in, no matter the circumstance. Although I feel like I end up correcting myself when it comes to banana split, but we'll get there.
Okay.
But still, it's like the overall sentiment, don't give up in what you believe in because it'll work out, I guess, in a way.
It's tricky because of the exact situation that she was in, but I do, also want to say that her sticking to that in that moment was incredibly powerful, and it did work out. But yeah, man.
Yeah, it was so rough and sad and just so many emotions. Guys, do you have any sprinkle on top?
I do.
Ooh, I wonder if it's going to be the same as me.
I wonder. Should I go?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, say it at the same time. I'm just kidding.
It would be very long if we did. I have two, technically. The first one's absolutely a joke because when I heard the title of the episode, Determination and Thunder, I was like, oh, was that the first draft of the Thor movie, Love and Thunder? But, my actual sprinkle on top was the broken mirror that's split three ways.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I wonder if we have the same interpretation.
Let's see. Okay.
So this could be a stretch, but I thought that it being split 3 ways represented Miyo of the past, Miyo of the present, and Miyo of the future. Miyo of the past being broken, belittled, and beaten by her family. Miyo of the present trying her best to heal, and Miyo of the future, which is her untapped potential. And at one point in the storage house or shed, part of that mirror falls away just as Miyo is saying to Kaya, I won't lie because you said so. She's then not allowing them to control her anymore, therefore stepping away from Miyo of the past and fully embracing Miyo of the present and future.
Let's go. I don't know if you can hear my poetry snaps in the mic.
Snapping very violently into the
it's not
mic.
really picking up.
No, it's not. You just look crazy over here.
No, it'll come through when you send the audio over, but I think Discord mutes that stuff. But I appreciate it.
They don't like slam
great.
poetry. They're not fans. Discord said no
Right?
way.
Rude.
That was great,
Yeah.
Hannah. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, I also had the mirrors. I just said that in the storehouse, when you see Miyo in the reflection, it's like the mirror is broken, right? And I thought of that as, oh, well, when Miyo was in the Saimori household, she was broken. But then when she wakes up in the Kudo household, you also see Miyo in the reflection of a mirror, and it's a whole mirror that's not broken. And I'm like, oh, she's whole when she's in the Kudo household.
Oh my
God, Chika. Chill.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, we were twinning. We were getting the vibes,
Yeah.
Yes.
We had our own interpretations, and I think that they both really fit.
Yeah. Okay. Josh, do you have any sprinkle on top?
I think my motif or symbol is the mirror and the whole. I just steal both of your guys' because they were so good. I mean,
I can see the wheels turning. You're like, how do I copy what they just said?
I was gonna repeat it verbatim. No, I mean, you guys honestly fucking nailed it. I mean that is what it is. I mean, I think it's you guys said it so perfectly. I don't even want to attempt to try because I don't have anything better than that. That was perfect. So I'll pass it on to
I'm blushing. Thank you.
I actually put the burning of the home
Oh, that's good.
as my sprinkle on top, just to symbolize like this chapter is closed. She will never be treated how she has been treated in that house ever again. And it just symbolized her rising from the ashes, you know, being a better person and loving herself and, you know, taking a step back away from her past.
Wow.
Oh,
Incredible.
Wow.
absolute fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out. I think you guys got this.
No, stay. You must stay. We have to get to when we get mad.
Oh yeah,
Be mad together.
We have to be in a united front in anger. So don't leave.
It's gonna be group therapy in a minute.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, 100%.
Yes. Okay, so floats your boat. To be honest, I just got to really just the heart of the matter of being so proud of Miyo for standing up for herself.
Yes.
Like, this is also in my rocky road, but more so me just being proud that she's like, you know what? He wants me and I want him and I'm not going to give him up. Yeah. I'm not even going to say it. Like, no, like it's not going to come out. And with the way that she was trembling in the other episode, just by having Kaya talk to her, and then in this one, she's just like, I'm strong, regardless of what you do to me, like you're not going to change my mind. Just kudos to future Miyo Kudo. Like, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And the fact that she was saying it too, and how hard that is for her to say in general, but how hard that is for her to say when she's literally being like tied up and abused and just
like literally beaten down.
No, yeah, literally.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it just made it so much more impactful for her to say it over and over and over again. Holy crap, man. Yeah, beautiful. Heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm. Okay. More likes. I'm really just going to open up the floor.
Okay. I have one that's like really light that we can all just, I don't know, laugh about. I just put that Kudo is hot, calm, and powerful, and I just love to see it. It's wonderful.
Woo! Collective.
Yes.
Driven, motivated. He's like, you know what?
I mean, the man is literally fire.
No, literally.
It's literally.
I was, exactly. He just went in and got the job done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I loved seeing him put that, the dad in his place. Especially after the last episode. I loved it.
Yes.
And the animation during that moment too, when the lightning came down, popped off. Dude, I was like, oh my God. I love it.
When he was electrocuted, I was like, ooh, chef's kiss.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, did he just kill this man? But he didn't. But for a minute, I thought he really did.
I really did. And I'm going to be honest, I was a little disappointed.
I was a little disappointed too. I was like, did Kouji just watch this man kill his father?
Yeah, I know. It's so crazy. And then he's like, I just, marked him unconscious. I was like, oh,
yeah, he's unconscious. We're fine. We can walk away.
Yeah.
I was like, I think he's a little more than unconscious. He might not be dead, but damn, come on.
Concussion,
yeah, like when he wakes up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like, you gonna be the same? Are we just
he's gonna wake
gonna
up,
be eating the same?
Yeah, speaking a different language, Like,
yeah, for real. Like, it's like, oh, he's like fine, he's unconscious, but like he's unconscious forever. Like he's gonna be in a coma.
Right.
She just left that out.
Yeah.
No, that was
permanently
awesome.
unconscious.
I really also liked, this is kind of in my Rocky Road. This is kind of in my Rocky Road too. But I also really enjoyed the exchange that Kouji had at the very end. He is
with Kaya.
Yeah, with Kaya.
Oh yeah.
There was a specific line. I'll say the line when we get to the Rocky Road, but like him stepping up more and more and more. Like I was very frustrated with him, but I am enjoying seeing this like gradual sort of like change within him. And it might be because he's literally seeing somebody else, stand up and do the things that he's always wanted to do. Maybe that's giving him the courage to finally do it himself. But I really liked his exchange with Kaya at the end.
Yeah. he was standing on business.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I was so happy to see him finally stand up to her because, I mean, it's like really, it took this much though. Like it took for her to like tie her up in a shed and cut her clothing and beat her verbally while her mom beats her physically. Like it had to get to this point, bro. But you know, it's never too late. She's okay. Yeah. But still, dude, like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say I liked the house burning.
Yeah, I wrote "burn, baby, burn" to see what Inferno.
Yeah,
I was so happy. I said, "Thank you."
I loved the stepmom's reaction to it.
I loved it too. Fall to your knees and cry. Like, did you think you were gonna get away with this without any repercussions whatsoever?
You thought you were just gonna go home, go to bed, have dinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then wake up and be like, what a beautiful morning. I just beat the shit out of my stepdaughter. Like, what do you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Y'all, they made these plans and Kudo, like, you don't know Kudo. Like, come on.
Yeah, the fact that they thought that he wouldn't care. That's what's even crazier. He wouldn't go, where's my fiance?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Well, yeah, again, they must really think, and I guess they do, that just because they think she's garbage, that everybody else thinks she's garbage too.
Yeah.
And that's kind of just like how they operate, and that's their greatest weakness, is not seeing her worth, not seeing her value, because that comes back to bite them in the ass, because they don't think that there's another human being on earth who would show up to save her. Nobody cares about her that much. Why would they? And
which is crazy.
That's how you think in your fucked up head.
Yeah. And then when the house was like, because it was Kouji's dad's fault that the house was burning, I felt that it was just desserts for Miyo's dad, Shinichi. Because you just blindly followed this man, and now your house is literally up in flames.
I really like that too. I really like that. He didn't, do it himself, that it was sort of like him defending himself that caused it. I like that.
I loved when Kudo was shooting Kaya down. She kept... Yeah, she kept shooting her shot, and he's like, shut your mouth. I don't want to hear any more of your putrid drivel. And he also says, I would never marry an arrogant woman like yourself, even if the heavens demanded it. Kudo's amazing. That was the best thing he could have possibly said to Kaya to put her in her place.
Yes, because imagine somebody rejecting you to the point that they said, I will go to hell not to even be with you. Like eternal damnation.
Right.
Child, like you can never come back from that shit.
No.
Damn.
No. And she was so shocked.
Yeah.
She was so shook. What? You know what? Oh, yeah. Be quiet.
It was perfect. It was perfect. I keep imagining me in his place, and I just kept imagining. I mean, I would have gone so much harder than that, because you are literally physically abusing somebody in a freaking shed.
That's your partner. Like, it's not, I mean, any random person that's not okay. I would be upset if I, stumbled across it, or I, maybe no, this is like the person you're like going to marry, and you see them tied up, bruised, bloody. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like hold me back. Like the verbal abuse, like literally horrible things, but they just went so far, dude, and it's just awful to see.
He was way more calm, cool, and collected, and I think, that was perfect, and that was the right thing to do and to be. Obviously, him not choosing to get physical back, I think was really important too, for him to just be able to use his words to tell her exactly, how he feels. But he's a better man than I am, dude.
Yeah. Especially in that specific circumstance, I don't know. I would look the other way. I mean, it might have been wrong if he retaliated, but I would be like, you aren't going to hear nothing about that from me.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
If I was in his situation, all I'm saying is she would have got hit by a lightning bolt. That's all I'm saying.
Just a little bit.
And I would have been like, she's unconscious. It's okay.
She's unconscious.
She's unconscious.
Yeah, definitely cut up that kimono.
That's what I'm talking about. Eye for an eye.
Yeah.
But I guess all her kimonos did get set on fire in her house.
Yeah, that's true. All of her belongings.
True. The last one she's got left.
Yeah, you're right. True. Okay. Any last likes?
I mean, I just want to say again that this episode, while it was like really intense and hard to watch, I mean, it was a great episode. It was a highlight of the series.
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah. And that moment of the animation again, but during that fight, specifically, the animation's been beautiful the entire run, but like in that specific moment, I felt them really kind of going the extra mile and making it like extra fluid and kind of like more like just the lines and everything felt crazier and more frantic, more. I really loved it, and the episode as a whole was incredible.
Yeah, highly agree.
I would say another one for me was, just the ending
Yeah.
of Yurie meeting her when she wakes up and, her and Kudo being there for Miyo and just being happy that she's okay. And I don't think she's gotten that in a long time. And it was just very, very happy to see, telling her, like, you don't have to cry because I'm okay. Like, I'm fine. And because they just care about her so much.
Yeah. Like, I had specifically written down, and I guess this is low-key Rocky Road, that Kudo assures her that the abduction wasn't her fault and that nothing that happened was her fault.
Yeah.
I think that was really, really important for her to hear.
Okay, let's go into banana split. Does anybody have any banana split?
I do not.
I guess the only thing would be like how they thought they were going to get away with what they did.
Right.
That's pretty much it. I mean, I understand that this is a different time and there's different, but you're literally like kidnapping someone and physically assaulting them in a shed. They're still a human being. They still have rights. So,
but they're so horrible that I don't even think. I mean, it's kind of clear, obviously, that they don't see her as a human being. I guess
that's exactly what it means.
Yeah, I mean,
which is awful.
It's
like
awful.
Call the police. Like, there's things that they could. I don't know. There has to be repercussions. I mean, their house was burned down. Like, that's great.
That is,
but I was just shocked. I just confused. Like, they really thought this was the best way to go about it, huh?
Yeah, no, but you're absolutely right. Like, what was the plan after that? I wanted to know.
Well, they thought the plan, she would say, I don't want to be with you anymore. She'd go to their house, beaten and bloody.
Beaten up,
be like, I'm sorry, I just don't want, like, what do you...
Yeah,
what if he said, what the hell happened?
Out of nowhere. Because again, they don't know what's been happening behind closed doors.
They love each other. They're hugging, they're giving gifts.
Yeah, so she's going to just agree and show up, battered and bruised, and say, yeah, I'm calling it off. Like, okay,
what happened to you?
yeah.
What made you decide that? Like, crazy.
Also, I know you were kidnapped. I know you were kidnapped.
Right.
You didn't just like disappear and then show back up.
Literally.
Invisible men put you in a carriage
like literally
and took you away.
Like Yurie literally watched it happen.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah. I think the one banana split that I have, because I didn't know where to put it, because I'm also just in general, like when it comes to Miyo, I'm not going to be like, hey, scream, you scream, because like I'm proud of the way that she handled the situation. But at the same time, when she was just silent and they were walking away, it's like, if it was me, I would have stayed silent because it's like, shit, you already have my hands up. Like, I know that man's finna find me because Yurie, like, they didn't get Yurie.
I know.
Which, I mean, I'm glad they didn't. But, like, they didn't get Yurie. So she knows that Kudo's gonna find out that she was taken. So it's like a matter of waiting them out. So...
Yeah, it's just crazy. The fact that she was like, my last breath, I'll still be with him. And I'm like, the fact that she thought she was going to die in that moment is also devastating. Like, she straight up thought, like, I'm going to die here, but I'm going to be with him until the end. So you can beat me, whatever, kill me. I'm still never going to agree to your terms. And I was like, oh my God. Crazy.
Are there any more before we move to the next?
Not for me. Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, cool. We're going to move into Rocky Road, which basically, Jesus Christ. Like,
this is a Rocky Road episode.
Yes, just to the level of extent, I don't even know. Like, okay, you have her hands up high like that. Why? But then she gets like wrist burns, and then they're slapping her. They're cutting her clothes. They're kicking her. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I actually wrote all of that in Hot Fudge, just the entire everything in the storage house. But it's like dual Hot Fudge / Rocky Road because it's just devastating to watch. It's a really uncomfortable scene to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard that would be in general, but how hard, because this is like something that she's doing for the first time. She's declaring out loud. She's standing up for herself.
From her abusers.
To her abusers. So in general, that's extremely hard. But doing it while being tied up and beaten is another level. So, I mean, that's what made it so emotional. And her saying it over and over and over again, it cut me deeper and deeper every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted them to stop. Because it's like, she's not going to change her mind. And they just kept going.
Yeah.
I felt really bad for her because it was just like, oh my gosh, like, we all knew that Kudo and Kouji were coming, but I was just like, come faster.
I know,
like, just,
right?
Yeah.
It was like, are they going to make it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, too, I don't even know if it's, like, super worth saying, but in the banana split section, too, I just remembered something about what you said just reminded me that, like, Kudo walked in when Kaya's hands were still around her neck.
Yeah. And she just drops her.
Yeah. But it was like, she was still kind of like holding her, choking her. And then he was like, what's going on here? It's like, bro, you know what's going on here, dude. I mean, there's a rope. Yeah. She's choking her on the floor. Like, you know what's going on here. I mean, that was also pretty emotional. Made me want to cry. But what I was talking about earlier in terms of that line, that Miyo's childhood friend said. He said, I am going to save you. And at first I was mad. Like, why? Like, if she wants to stay and if she's telling you to go after Miyo, then, bro, just go. Just go because, she's a horrible human being. But he said, no, I'm going to do it because I know that she would grieve you.
Bro.
And I don't want you to hurt her anymore. Bro. I was like, oh my fucking God, dude. I almost lost it right then and there. Because that is how good she is. That is how kind she is, despite everything. Yeah. And despite them having just done what they did, that she would still grieve them. I mean, I wish I was like her.
Right. It's like an unbelievable level of kindness.
Yeah.
It's hard to wrap my head around that because, I mean, what they did to her is unspeakable.
And I think it got me so much because it was this like emotional sort of like, it's like seesaw where like, on one end, I was like, why are you trying so hard right now? Like after what, you just walked in on. And then that immediately teetering to a feeling of like, oh my God, because he knows this is how kind she is. It was a gut punch. I did not expect it. I thought he was going to say something else. And the fact that he said that, it really got me, man. It really, really got me.
Yeah. Miyo has this thought. I think it's a thought. I don't know that it's something she said out loud. I can't really remember. She says or thinks, living was exhausting. I believed there was nowhere I belonged. And that thought in and of itself is really sad just alone. But then Kudo tells her that she does belong and he wants to be with her forever. And I just love that she has that support system that she's always really needed.
Yeah, those couple lines were really, that was really heart-wrenching. Like, living was exhausting and it hurt. And it hurt. Like, it's just terrible.
The whole second half of the episode made me cry.
It was just it was just awful. And obviously we know that he's gonna swoop in and save the day. We know that she's not going to have to deal with that treatment from them, any longer once he, helps and steps in. But still, that the fact that she had to go through this at all is just ridiculous and gut wrenching. On top of everything else she's gone through, this end of the chapter with these two people is just, oh man.
Okay. Nuts. Things that were literally crazy. In general, I think everybody will agree with me. I had this in all caps, not the Emperor being fucking crazy too.
Oh my God. Right?
Yeah.
Bro, leave her alone.
Literally.
Like, she's just trying to be happy, and everybody is just like, what?
Yep.
Every single person.
Yeah.
And he looked like a beat up nutsack. I'm just like, oh my God.
He did. He looked like a malnourished professor is what he looked like.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He looked like an uncooked pig in a blanket.
Yep. He looked like Emperor Palpatine.
Oh,
yes.
He looked like a basketball that's been sitting too long in the sun.
Oh, shit. Yes.
That is true.
Oh my God.
Let's keep going. Let's keep roasting.
I know. I was like, how can I keep it going?
My God. Because I'm just like, God, like, everybody is just trying to be in this girl's uterus. And that is also nuts, too.
Yep.
Mind your own business. Like, all of this, like, breeding stuff.
Bro, and if she was so freaking valuable, then you guys should have been keeping a better eye on her, setting her up. The whole honey and vinegar thing you said, Chika's so true. If you guys would have been taking really good care of her, making her feel really cared about, then maybe all your plans would have fucking worked out. But the fact that you treated her like garbage and everybody knew she was being treated like garbage, like, what did you guys expect? Even when the dad at the end was like, it didn't have to be this way. I was like, what other way was it going to be?
Yeah,
like,
what other way? What other way? You started this.
And I wanted to tell him, yeah, it didn't, but guess who started it? You started it. It's this way because of you. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. My nuts point that I had was just when he initially just blows off the front of the house. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I wasn't expecting it to escalate immediately like that. Like, I knew something was going to go down and, like, maybe the powers would come into play, but it was just like he shows up and takes the front of the place off.
Yep.
Wow.
Right.
Yep.
Because Kouji was getting slick in the mouth, too. He's like, ain't you going to do something? It's like, stand back, bitch.
Right. When he does it, he's like, what are you doing? And it's like, this is how you get shit done.
No,
okay?
literally. Like, what do you think I'm doing? I'm getting my fiance back. I'm going to do anything in my power.
You want me to do it like you do it and just like talk to your dad?
Yeah, that worked out really well.
Yeah, that worked out real well for you. Why did you come knocking on my door? Because you wanted me to do this and this is what I do.
Exactly. This is what I do. And this is what I'm going to do in order to get her back because whatever is happening here needs to end immediately.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to throw furniture at your dad? No, I'm going to set this other man's house on fire.
I'm going to set all of his furniture.
How about all the furniture?
All your furniture, all your money, anything that you ever valued is gone.
Family
That's
photos,
what happens
gone.
when I step in.
Yeah.
Big powers.
Yes.
Big powers, big bundles, big kahunas. Let's go.
It's the hair.
go.
It's the hair. It's the hair. It's the power in the hair. Come on now.
Yeah.
Right. It's like the dad might be in his mustache, but he's got long hair.
Exactly.
Yes.
No, it's the hair that ties everything
You know
together.
what? It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
It really,
The longer the hair,
is.
the more powerful the user. I don't know what
I
they're
thought
called.
you were going to try to rhyme it. But you didn't even try.
That's not really right.
The powerful, the longer the hair, the more powers they bear.
Ooh,
Oh, see, that's good. See, that's good.
Nice.
That's really
Thank you.
good.
Thank you.
I was gonna rhyme
Nice.
maybe hair with air, like heir of the throne.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yours was way better actually. Josh was looking at me like,
Oh.
okay, enough. I'm just kidding.
I'm doing the thing where I like, I'm just saying like cut.
Yeah, he has like a long wooden like cane, and he's like pulling me out of the studio.
But I mean, it was also nuts. I mean, did we say that? I know we said it previously, but in the nut section, the house on fire too, because you said the door was nuts when he blasted it completely open or off. But when the house did catch fire and everything was burning, it was a satisfying moment when the stepmom saw it, but it was also a crazy moment.
Yeah. It was also a crazy moment too, because I mean, when he is carrying her out, she sees her mom again.
Yup.
She sees her mom again.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And the mama started talking. Like, girl, did you see this shit? Your daughter just got choked, man. Like,
I know.
Bruh.
And it was so meaningful too, like the fact that she did see her and she was like, oh, you're taller than the last time I saw you. Like, she apologized to her. Like, I am so sorry for everything you've had to go through because I wasn't there to protect you. And I was like, oh my God. She needed to hear that. Like, she just needed someone in her corner for so long. And like, now she has the support system. Like, now she has those people. Yeah, I was so emotional, man.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if there aren't any more nuts points, we can go into hot fudge if anybody still has remaining steam.
I feel like we've aired most of
kind
it
of
out. Just that whole storage house scene, Yeah,
but just know that there was a lot of hot fudge. And I think people listening do know, people who have seen the episode do know But yeah, I can't even go back. I don't even want to go back to that state.
No.
Because I don't want to relive all the rage.
For real, because honestly, it's like, you used to come in this episode because what Kudo won't do, I would do. Like, if you needed to be woman to woman, let's go. Okay.
Yes. He was going to just pick up a phone, even though they don't have phones back then, and he's just going to call Chika. He's going to have Chika
Yeah. So it's just be like, first of all, Kaya, your mom's a whore. She's with the big W and stuff because she was screwing on your daddy. That's why you feel inferior and stuff because she was screwing on your daddy before he got married to her.
Holy shit.
And look at how y'all moving now. You so mad at her and everything. You could have lived your life. You had everything you wanted, but you kept pushing and pushing. And I would be saying all of this while just like beating ass. Like, nah.
With the fan. Just pop, 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 pop.
Oh my God.
You should say, and then after you're done, you should say, now go wash up. Oh, wait, you can't. Your house burned down.
You're done.
Yeah. You're done. Yeah. Yeah. But in any case, I guess we could just move into Ice Cream, You Scream. So, any last dislikes for the episode, guys?
I think we already talked about mine, to be honest. Just the fact that, like, the house ended up in flames because they couldn't just let Miyo live her life.
Yep.
Just like, yeah. It's just infuriating. Y'all could have just let her live. But instead, you had to take it so far that the house ended up in flames.
Yeah. And you know what? Technically, Kouji's dad's the one that sort of started the fire shit, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And I'm looking at it. The only Ice Cream You Scream I would have to, like, back up Kouji is, man, you almost burnt your whole child up.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yep.
Like, that's crazy work, man. Like, that's your son. But okay.
Yeah, it was kind of, I guess it wasn't really a dislike, but the fact that Miyo's dad, when he ran out, like, he didn't do nothing the whole time. He was just like, he's the one making all these moves and all these deals and, you know, doing all this stuff. And he didn't do anything. I didn't see no power from him. I didn't see anything from him. I just saw him running out, concerned about everything that was happening that, again, he set in motion. So it is frustrating, but, you know, he did have a consequence.
Okay, well, guys, we've made it to the end of episode 52 of Shoujo Sundae. Thank you so much for listening, but also thank Volume 1 Josh and Mehgan so much for coming on and getting into the nitty-gritty of My Happy Marriage with us. We laughed, we cried, we got through all of this together.
Yep. Yes. I'm gonna have to go to Home Depot and get some stuff to fill all the holes in the walls that I punched in them when I was watching.
Right? Yeah.
Thank you for having us, for real.
So
thank you guys.
Thank you. I'm so excited for you guys to go through the series. I had such a great time watching it, and I'm sure you guys will too. I'm excited to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, and I'll say, you know, for me, this was an amazing excuse to get into an incredible series. Yeah. I'm definitely going to be continuing this. Obviously, it's something I would recommend everybody watch. But if you're listening to this, you're probably at least 6 episodes in and already are going to continue it. But thank you for giving me an excuse to discover this incredible series. And every time we connect with you guys, it's always such a blast, such a pleasure.
We had so much fun. This was so great.
Yeah, we love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Oh, thank you. No, we love you guys too, our other pod BFFs.
For real, everybody listening, just know that they are so kind. Like, even, you know, privately in DMs, so supportive, so sweet. They're the real deal. Okay, and we love them.
Oh. Thank you so much. I was so excited when, like, me and Chika were thinking, like, oh, like, you know, who to hit up for whatever show, and you guys came up, and I'm like, yes, as soon as possible.
Literally anytime.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for listening. Before we sign off, we want to thank our patrons. Thank you so much for supporting us and supporting our endeavors and to try to get weekly. I know technically this is February, so we're weekly this month. You're welcome. But we're not normally weekly. So if you would like to make that happen, you know, join our Patreon. it helps us. Even if you are in the sprinkles tier, every bit helps.
Yep.
Yes.
It does.
And with that, yes, it does. And
I was selling for you guys because I mean, it's a lot of work that you guys put into the things that you do, the stuff that you make, and it's worth it. It's worth it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
With that said, let's give a little shout out to our patrons. Starting with our Sprinkles patrons, we have Akemi, Pete, and PJ. We have our wonderful whipped cream patrons. We have Mary and Mark M. And our hot fudge patrons, Mackenzie, Aaron, AJ, and Mark D. Thank you all so much for being our patrons.
Yes, thank you. And for everybody, like, you should already be following Volume 1, but please, right now, go on your preferred podcast platform and go follow our friends. They are so cool. And also on YouTube, because like I said earlier, they're literally like an anime manga TV station, for real. Like, so much effort and love in all the work that they do. But you guys, please tell the people where they can find you on social media.
We are on Instagram, Twitter. We have a wonderful, beautiful Discord community. And those are all linked in our link tree, which is on our channel as well. And we're active on pretty much all of those platforms. So if you want to go give us a like, a follow, or even a subscribe, we really appreciate it. It acts like a free tip to our channel and us. So anything and all support helps us out so much.
Yeah, it's youtube.com/volume1pod and @volume1pod on most social media. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Cool. And you guys, if you aren't already following us, what's going on? But if you aren't already following us,
for real though.
yeah, you can get at us. We are at Shoujo Sundae, and that's Sunday like ice cream, not Sunday like the day Sunday. We just have our episodes come out on the day Sunday, but still Shoujo Sundae across all socials, and we are on Blue Sky and Threads. And if you'd like to get at us individually, I'm Chika Supreme. You can find me probably everywhere. Chika Supreme, that's Chika with a K, not two C's. Giana.
I am Giana Luna. You can stream my debut single, Twilight Champagne, on any music platform. And you can also follow me at Giana_Luna_ across all socials. It's Giana with one N. On Blue Sky, it's Giana Luna with no underscores.
Cool. And and I guess the time that this episode comes out, happy early Valentine's Day.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Feel the love.
Yes, and treat yourself.
Yes, be your own Valentine.
Yes, love yourself, accept yourself.
Yes.
Honestly, yeah. Get like Miyo, for real.
Right.
For real.
Yeah, but we will see you guys next week.
All right, we will see you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.